Hey, this is Mark, and tonight I'm going to be doing another Samsung S6 chip-off data recovery. Um, so I'm going to take a minute to let the YouTube catch up with the fact that I'm streaming so I can pop the chat out and add it into the feed. Okay, there we go. All right, so this particular device, I have kind of run into a dead end with it, and it is showing some symptoms that I've associated with the eMMC itself, or the UFS chip itself, being the source of the fault. So it's possible that this may not be successful, but we'll see. Get that little shield frame thing off and out of the way. All right, let's get this chip off of here. Paul Daniels says last night he stayed up till 7 a.m. watching Shawshank Redemption and then Lewis's stream. Sounds like I'm doing more productive stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Shawshank's a good movie. If you're gonna waste your time watching something, that's a good choice. All right, the chip is off. Hopefully I don't have any issues with the reader tonight. I was working with it the other night, and I think I need to get another USB 3 cable that's male type A at both ends, because I think it's the cable that's the problem. It seems to be really picky about how I position it. So I've got it all set up, hooked up to my desktop now, and I did a test run to see if I could read a known good chip, and that did read. But it was being weird the last time I tried it, and it took 4 or 5 tries on the chip I was reading, trying to get data from, before it actually read correctly. Hopefully I don't run into those problems tonight. All right. Uh-oh. Well, we've lost that camera. I'm going to go ahead and pop that battery in the charger while I reball this chip, so hopefully I'll be able to show it going into the reader, so there's no trolls out there in the comments saying, oh, you switched the chip. And I'm just going to use the braid just to go over quickly and kind of use it to sand off the little bit of underfill that's still stuck to the chip. Clean things up a little bit. Bear, get out of the sink, Bear. God, it's in there nosing around in the sink, pulling dishes out. If anybody is in the Jacksonville, Florida area and would like a very well-behaved, well-trained, awesome dog, just let me know. I've got one. He's totally not an asshole. He's got all his shots. It's completely free. All you got to do is just let me know. Now I'm just going to go over and make sure all these pads are not oxidized. I'm going to get rid of the oxidization. Alright, so all of those pads have now taken solder properly. They are no longer oxidized, so I'm going to clean up all this extra flux. And I'm going to go over them one more time quickly with the wick just to flatten out those pads again, because I don't like that they're so uneven, and I'm going to be applying balls, so if I start out with flat pads, I'll know that all my balls are going to be the same size. And it looks like I've still got a couple here that are oxidized. Where did my tweezers go? There we go. They all look good now. So I want to leave a layer of flux on there to help the balls flow onto those pads really good, and also to help stick the chip to my stencil to keep it in place. Get rid of these balls. Don't need you guys. I guess most of those are okay. I've got a stash of balls still stuck to the stencil that I'm going to just kind of knock over this way. That piece of fuzz out of there. Don't need that. Everybody has their own way of doing this kind of stuff. My preferred method for this is balls. I really like knowing that all the balls are big enough and that they are all the same size. These the socket for these chips is really kind of a pain in the ass, and things don't tend to work out very well if you have too much variation in the balls. It's really picky about those balls all being, very little difference between the sizes of them. Some of the other readers, like for the older EMMC style chips, they are much more forgiving. Those you don't even have to reball. Come on, balls. I've misplaced my good tweezers. So I'm making this happen with the X-Acto blade. All right, I think got everybody in their place now. Ooh, that's getting hot on the fingers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Looks like the chip has shifted a little bit under here. Some of the balls have fallen through and are now creating a gap on that side. That happens sometimes, kind of a pain in the ass. I'm going to see if I can get most of those stuck down and have to, have to redo it like this. Pain in the ass when that happens. All right. So sometimes I will just put a few balls in place and then get those nice and seated first, and then go back and do the rest. And that helps make sure that the stencil stays lined up. But I didn't do that this time, and I wish I would have. All right. Get out of there, you balls. Damn it. Oh, geez. Did I have the stencil and the chip flipped around the wrong ways the whole time? I bet somebody in chat called me out on that, and I'm not paying attention to chat, so I never noticed. Damn. It's getting late. That's my excuse. Okay. All right, looks like no balls are doubled up. So again, gonna hold the stencil down, come back in with some hot air. And this is the nature of doing these things live. I would love the luxury of being able to go in and like edit videos and just show, what you want to, but that's not real. This is real. This is what it's actually like. It doesn't always go perfectly. Okay. Now I will fill in the empty spots with some more balls. Hopefully I don't dump out 500 of them. Maybe that'll be enough. Oh, there's my good tweezers. All right. So this one was after prompting it to boot, it would sit at like 140 to 160 milliamps and just kind of not do anything. And all the power rails were present. I couldn't find any shorts anywhere. The data lines that I know to check for on the Samsungs didn't seem to have any problems. So those symptoms kind of match what I've seen before end up being a chip that can't be read. And then, if you put a good chip in that same phone, it boots up just fine. So it's possible that that will be the result here, but I've also seen a few of them where ultimately the chip did read. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. It's anybody's guess. All right, I need to get all these extra balls out of here. Get out of here, balls. But not you. I want you to stay. All right. Well, shit. There goes my drink. All right, looks like I just have one ball that didn't quite make it. And I'm gonna let that cool down a little bit and clean it off, and I'll check out the chat. Get those cotton fibers out of there. Don't need those getting all stuck in the socket. Looks like this guy got an extra ball. So most of these look fine. Nice even balls, except this guy in the corner, way too big. All right, now it looks pretty even with the other ones, so I'll go with that. I think that'll work. Get out the old socket. Going in this way. And let's switch over to the software we use to look at these chips. Takes a minute to load. Okay. So it is detecting the chip. So then we'll click read. And I'm going to just pick a memory address to jump to to see if I do see data, and I do, so that's great. And now I'm going to save the memory from the entire chip. We'll name this, let's see, I don't know if I want to use ticket numbers. We'll just call it S6 data.img. And now it's saving. So now it's just like a 20-minute wait, and what's going to be output is a bit-for-bit image of all of the data, all of the different partitions that are on this chip that are used by Android. And then I will use a combination of paid and open source softwares to go in and mount the images, explore the actual data, and pull all the stuff off. So there's really not more I can show in this video because it's going to take a while for this to finish. And then the actual extracting the data stuff I do under Linux, and I'm not really set up to stream all of that. So I guess I'm just gonna call it done here. So yeah, damn, I forgot to change the title. Damn it. Oh well. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'm gonna have a break now. Have a good night, guys.